Hey, how's it going? Today is 24th of January, Wednesday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available out there. In this video, let's take a look at perhaps how myself I can reach out, having access to some of the facilities, right? That would be perhaps a Bristol library, so to say, or it would be defined as community centers. There will be some centers that I don't know. Do I need to pay? Ideally, I don't want to pay for anything if I don't have to. I just need a table. That's the only thing I need coming into this, right? As well as I have sent some emails. I don't know if I should share those. But let's take a look at facilities, how to structure this particular video, right? So let's take a look at facilities and how any business and or inspiring business, not necessarily existing business, right? So in the beginning, perhaps you are non-profit business, so to say, since you're not generating any money. So you're non-profit in the beginning, right? Until you having access to those facilities and as well as staff, the people, volunteers, so to say, you non-profit, right? Non-profit. 4 years in, you're becoming for profit. I'm just spoke a little off on right based on what's as of now happening in the world. So you can some of the organizations can be both at the same time. So with that in mind, let's see how we can potentially, if we can give it back to community, right? By having access to facilities and all different ways how we can give back to community. Myself and what I'm doing many things, right? But if anything, just looking perhaps, if anything, I'm looking to improve my activity level. Perhaps I'm not doing enough, so to say. So it's something that I'm doing, right? But if anything, I can share some examples of how to do it, so others perhaps take notice and engage with different ways and or excuses. Oh, let's do that, and perhaps not necessarily for myself or others, right? So if people have a lot of excuses, perhaps there's different ways of approaching anything, right? And how to do it, right? So myself, I'm looking to secure facilities, right? So there's a lot of different initiatives how you can potentially have those. But if anything, let's perhaps progress into into the city, all right? So that we have facilities in or around Bristol. So there might be some centers or community centers, so to say. So perhaps I haven't done anything. So I'm looking to understand it. I have reached out to a person or receive a response from a person. As of now, it was just moments ago, 2 minutes ago, I received an email with a person. As of now, is busy conducting job interviews, right? So I thought I'll have this person on the phone and or video conference call, and we can progress from there. That would be kind of great, I guess. Until then, if not right now, perhaps we will schedule a different time, right? So I thought I would be able to share more information about as of now what's happening, but if not, I'll approach it as if I don't understand, kind of thing, right? So we're looking for community centers, right, in Bristol. Let's see how we can approach those as well as perhaps libraries. Uh, I have mentioned, I think it was last week, libraries are there. No one's perhaps using those. If that's the case, how anyone can launch some programs within existing infrastructure, i.e., libraries. So those buildings are there. So how any business can have access to those buildings? If we're looking to start somewhere, as of now, perhaps all cities that I know of within the UK would have a library, at least one. That would be perhaps central library. Everyone can start with there, or from there they can progress and actually start paying for things. But before you start paying for things, perhaps that would be a better of approaching what you can have access to. You just need a table. That's it. So if you have a person, you would have so to say a little office space for this person. Let's start from there, and we can progress into beginning paying for office in the city center in some of the cities, including London or so to say, right? But let's start with libraries and progress from there. Perhaps let's do it and see if we can accomplish anything, right? So that would be working times, right? So this working times, people can, I think people can work from home if you would ask me, but if not, we can begin with libraries, and from libraries we can progress into some of the facilities, having access to those facilities, that process, right? But to have access to libraries, perhaps it would need to be approved by some of the staff within libraries. So that's my understanding. So once you have been approved, I guess, so to say, they might need to raise some capital. So I don't know, there might be something. But before we start paying for anything, let's begin. How can I get approved to have access to some of those facilities in libraries, right? That's as an example, right? I was taking a look at previous video. That would be a contract for a company to carry out social media work, right? Or I understood it. That would be healthy media work, whatever healthy would mean. I think factual would be great. Healthy, I don't know what healthy means. From there, progressing, if you yourself, if you had this contract, right, how you yourself you can approach it. Coffee places, perhaps it can be very crowded, or so to say. So perhaps even that would maybe work. But again, you would need perhaps approval from management of that coffee place, right? But if not, libraries might work. But I haven't done it. I'm doing it right now. Perhaps I can put together an email and have approval from libraries. Let's progress. Then in notes, you can visit Central Library tier, browse and borrow books and other media. Collect books. You have physical books there, so perhaps people still having those and reading those, which is great. Return your loans. Okay, okay. Use computer and print. So there might be even computers there. Use Wi-Fi, internet connection. Great. Use the reading room. Reference doc and okay, reading room. So they might have even conference rooms. That would be great. Let's progress. Use study space. Study space. Perhaps that's central library, right? So not necessarily all the libraries might have that, but either way. View the electoral register. Okay, okay, okay. That's perhaps voting, so to say. Access newspapers. Okay, so physical paper, so to say. Use the photocopier, use the toilets, use the coffee. Perfect, it's even coffee. I think that without paying for anything, that's where to begin. Once you have secured it as a business owner, once you have access to that facility, and you begin generating non-profit for profit, so to say, then you can begin about perhaps considering in beginning increasing your operating cost. If it's something you yourself you're looking to consider, then you can progress in perhaps paid facilities, right? Someone would ask, you, you're inspiring business startup who is looking for facilities. Great. People should understand that you're a non-profit, I would say, and perhaps give you access to some of those facilities for as long as there's a free. You cannot be loud, right? You need to pick up the litter after yourself. Find facilities just the way how you found those, right? Or leave just the way how you find it. Very simple things, common sense, right? So perhaps then you can establish working relationships with some of those libraries, and we can improve the current situation with those libraries or buildings being used, right? I think I don't know that much about libraries, right? Myself about physical buildings, but there might be within those libraries there might be different programs that themselves they might be considering launching, and then would be better use of those buildings, right? But as of now, that would perhaps would be a process. And take a look at Bristol, but perhaps that would be across UK and or even within different regions, right? And everything what's happening with the library. Let's put together, reach out to this library and see how. Usually there is no response. Usually people not responding to anything. I'm talking with a different person as of now. There's a person there. I'm talking about the community hubs as well as I think this person might be responsible overseeing some of the things. All right, so I'm doing a different thing. I can briefly touch on that. Myself, I'm gonna have a group of engineers, right, and or perhaps looking to work with a group of engineers. And if we were to build something, we're gonna build something. I was thinking about chess pieces, something small, simple to do. We might build a statue, we build something, and we can give back that statue to community. So I don't know if that's non-profit because I asked for sandwiches for engineers, right? That would be great. So it's going to be 50-50. If you would ask me, I would always approach some of those charity or giving people things away, not necessarily they would care about those things. So it would be meeting halfway, kind of concept, meeting halfway. So that would mean that if a community would offer sandwiches, we can offer that community a statue, and they can ask for some statue, and we can build that. That would be meeting halfway kind of thing, but it would not necessarily would be for profit, non-profit, no money, not necessarily would exchange hands, but it would be meeting halfway kind of thing. So I'm reaching out to community. Perhaps I would be able to have a conference call later this week, if not today. Just quickly, right? So that's an email that I was referring to. I think it was last week. That would be a library ideas, and there would be some emails, but there would be very similar emails I have seen. Some of those libraries might have to send the idea to that direct library, but I have mentioned three things, right? Not necessarily if you were to share uh, sensitive business information, you will not necessarily be given anything back in return, right? And that information not necessarily be treated in the best possible way. But emails are there. So if you yourself you're looking to share some ideas with libraries of what you would like to do, there's some emails there, right? Yourself, if you're interested in learning more about business, and perhaps that would be a great way of taking a look at some of the operating costs, right? So if you're running a company, you might need to have access to a number of those facilities, right? And what else you could potentially begin by having access to perhaps free facilities, but again, you might need to give something back in return. So it would be meeting halfway. So perhaps coffee might work for professional, more than often women working within libraries. Coffee might work for women. I don't know. Donuts. I don't know what. You guessed it. Let's forget. Within this book, I'm taking a look at some of the concepts on how to structure your company and where to begin, right? And within the book, I'm taking a look at how you can potentially do your research and trying to understand what kind of venture you myself I'm interested in entering. From there, progressing, acquiring customers and capital, as well as reinvesting that in different ventures. You can find it QR code in the corner of the company's website below. I have put together or software, non-profit for profit software, put together a letter, right? Where that would be how to express your interest in or having access to perhaps facilities for professional to work in. If that's at any point you would need to have those, perhaps establishing that would be great. Myself was taking a look at some of the contracts, right? That would be perhaps podcasts. And if you would like to have a professional take a part in some of those podcasts, you can build that working environment somewhere. Uh, you can myself. I'm considering beginning with the libraries, and perhaps I will be progressing to community centers down the line, and from those perhaps it's the center and our office spaces. But that will be perhaps progression 1, 2, 3, 4, so to say, and from there perhaps operating costs increasing those, right? But that will be just an example. I have read it. Seems okay, I guess, but that will be just approaching libraries and see some examples of where to begin and where to go, right? So there might be more people interested in starting up or setting up the companies, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one.